That's one of the reasons why there will not be so much of a challenge in terms of parking for the surrounding area. But that wasn't what I was going to bring up. It was actually with regard to the allotments charges. I mean, clearly people aren't going to be happy when they've got a significant increase in the charges. But what's more concerning and what people are contacting me about are some of what they regard as petty regulations, which are actually going to cause problems. And how are you actually going to effectively check on this stuff? I mean, the allotments team can't check on anything now. So how are they going to check if somebody's got a few bees or a chicken or whatever? And the cost of actually billing them for these minor things and then trying to enforce it and collect it seems to be completely unrealistic.
I'm a site rep and I do the checking on my site and I report to allotment officers, and that's the way it's always been.
Yeah, I mean, I think the consultation exercise is underway. Will we introduce many of the things in the consultation? I suspect not. I think, I'll be kind, but the output from that, the document that was issued, was perhaps not something that we would have approved of.
Got time in between getting back the results for it to feed into the budget process and the cabinet decision, because it's pretty tight in terms of time.
Well, the income lines are different to the as you call it, petty bureaucracy or whatever it was. In terms of income, obviously people for a long time would have experienced maybe a not ideal allotment service. I think probably everyone who owns an allotment, as an allotment owner or recent allotment owner anyway, I would agree we didn't receive the service that you would hope for. And in order to deliver on a better service overall, you need to increase fees. So you know, it's kind of an inevitable outcome of improving the service is increasing the fees, same as increasing rents in housing or anything else.
Then Patrick.
I wanted to take a step back to allotments after what Don said about site reps, because I was talking to a site rep, someone who'd recently resigned as a site rep just last week. And I have concerns of a number of site reps not being happy with how things are going, and there now being a lack of site reps. He seemed to say that quite a few now didn't have site reps. And if we don't have site reps and we don't have them on board for whatever our allotment strategy is, how do we maintain good allotments without just then having to increase the number of staff, which then costs more money? So I guess I just wanted to know here, what is the situation with site reps, and I guess how are we going to keep them on board? Yeah, Ellie's snuck in the back.
Pardon? Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the challenges of being a site rep is you Sunday afternoon you sort of you feel a bit like the judge going down to mediate between various parties who are concerned about sort of, you know, who's taken a little bit of extra path or who's doing something they shouldn't and whatever. The really, really important thing is you've got a clear set of rules and you've got the officers there to back you up on those rules. Not that we don't occasionally bend the rules a little bit and have a bit of a social occasion, or, you know, somebody's got a little pond perhaps, something like that. But we do need officers to back us up when somebody has really gone and done something that's affecting the safety of other people or affecting the ability of other plot holders to grow stuff. Because at the end of the day, allotments are about food production, and most of us there are really serious about food production, even competition growing. And so we want to be sure that the other kind of activities which would carry on in a community garden or park context are done in moderation and appropriately to the overall focus of what allotment keeping has been for 140, 150 years.
But I think what I'm saying is, what I'm hearing is, especially East Bristol, which is the area I know about, but that site reps are either really, really unhappy or already leaving because of the proposed changes. So I guess my question, I understand what you mean. You have people who represent the rules, but if rules come in that they're not happy with, then what do we do?
We've been short of site reps for a long time before any changes were proposed in the rules. And one of the reasons is they're not backed up in trying to sort out the very human problems that occur on allotments. And allotments are very special to allotment holders. It is a precious place where they go to for peace and quiet on a Saturday evening or a Sunday afternoon, or it's very meaningful to them. And tempers can flare around allotment issues. That's why it's very important that a site rep is backed up by rules and enough officers to be able to make help everyone to get on. That's all rules are about, helping everyone to get on with one another and focus on the main issue: food, fruit, vegetable production.
Ali, did you want to come in?
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I think it's a good flag to say that, you know, it's great that all sites should have an allotment site rep. That's something that we would aim to do. But they're volunteer posts, and we try and sort of entice people in by giving them significant discounts or free plots in some cases as well, to try and encourage people to stand up. But yeah, it'll continue to be a challenge. I've met with over 40 site reps already, and 50 tenants in counting so far to discuss this. And I just think one of the important points to raise is that it is a very open and live consultation. So nothing's set in stone yet, and we're still continuing to work on it with people and listen. And that the rules were written in response to quarterly meetings that we have with site reps for years. So they're not done in isolation. This didn't come out of the middle of nowhere. This comes from quarterly meetings and responding to the issues and challenges that site reps have on their plots, and who ask us for the tools in order to apply those rules. So a lot of this is in response to what they've asked for, and also the daily correspondence and emails and calls that we get from tenants with the issues that they have. So, but yeah, with 5,500 plots across the city, there will be some sites that don't have reps, but we're also having a workshop next week, which we're hoping to sort of tease out some of the challenges and address both some of the very great points that have been raised by tenants across the city, and there's been some really constructive feedback, but also a bit of the disinformation that's inevitably circulated a little bit as well.
How many sites are there? I just don't know. 5,500 plots. Over how many sites?
I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. Yeah. I'll be on the website.
They're all listed on the website, I think, but it's a bit more complex than that, because some of them are out as associations, so there are different types of governance within it, and some of them are very small and some of them are massive and need more than one site rep. So